All right, I think maybe I have this camera adjusted right, so maybe you can see more than my hands. You can actually see the pan. And what I'm going to show you today is how to deal with a very cheap cut of meat that you might see in a lot of normal grocery stores, not the pedigree grocery stores like Whole Foods. But anyway, in keeping with the vein of doing cheap stuff, which is generally the cheaper cuts of meat, generally tend to have more flavor. This is heart, okay? And oddly, it's about 6 times the size of my heart, but it has the same amount of fat crusted around it. Before you freak out and before you go, oh my God, heart, I'm going to throw up. Listen to me. Heart is just a muscle. It's no different than a steak. See that? It's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And if you're squeamish about food, I don't want to deal with you, okay? Anyway, what do? You get the heart, and generally you'll find them a little bit smaller. This is a really big one. And this cow obviously led a good life until it had somebody hold a captive bolt gun to its head, and then ended it. Anyway, let's get on with it. What are we going to do with it? We're going to do a Latino dish. We're going to pan sear it, and we're going to serve it with a little reduction sauce. There's a culinary term of habaneros, lime juice, and garlic and parsley. So, how do we deal with this monstrosity? First thing you want to do is trim all this fat off, okay? And this is basically what a doctor does when you go see him about heart disease. You're going to trim off all that, and it's all saturated fat, which means it's really good for the heart, but it's really, really bad for you. So, once we get all that trimmed, and you see that? It's not bloody, it's not organy, and a lot of things that people feel squeamish about, innards, organs, offal, they all think it's going to taste like liver, you know? That's bullshit. It doesn't. The heart is a muscle. A muscle is the same as a steak. What this does is it's simply a pump, you know? There's much grosser things inside an animal, and I'll get to those later. But anyway, let's keep cleaning. So, we're going to trim off all our fat, and I'm going to turn on my piece of shit electric burner up to, we'll go to number 8. I have no idea what that is. So anyway, we end up with this, okay? This is a little bit big for me. So what I'm going to do is once you get all that fat trimmed off, I'm just going to cut it right in half, okay? Just like that. And look at that. Look at that red meat. What are you squeamish about? It's just food. Come on. I'm sure most of us have put in worse things in our mouth. And then we're going to trim off some of the ventricles and some of the membrane on the inside. And we're going to cut it into a nice, even if we have to butterfly it a little bit, so it cooks evenly, a nice, flat, even steak. Okay? That's it. Piece of cake. Let's trim it up a little bit more. Don't be ridiculous when it comes to food. Don't be such a baby when it comes to eating great stuff. Heart is a very versatile meat. You can use it for long-term braising. You know, you can cut it into cubes, flour it, saute it, add beef stock, vegetables, treat it like you would a beef stew. It's really good if you do that. Add chanterelles, add some nice wild mushrooms, porcinis, whatnot. And you can go the opposite direction, which the Peruvians would do when they do an anticucho, which is just cut it into chunks, about like this. I'll just show you. And skewer it, and then they grill it, and they serve it with a chimichurri sauce. A chimichurri is a sauce based on olive oil, parsley, lime juice, some chili, some garlic. There's a lot of different variations, but it's an awesome cut of meat. It does not taste livery. It doesn't taste like kidney, which, of all the things I've eaten, I can probably live without eating kidney again. They're good with mustard sauce. If you soak them long enough overnight in milk to get out that, get the piss out of them. Let's not kid each other. But the heart is not used like a kidney or a liver or any of the other organs that are used for processing body fluids and cleaning them. And that's what tends to give a lot of organ meats their distinct flavor. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our pan hot. And this might be a 2-part video because I can only shoot 15 minutes. I didn't set up a clock to watch. But we're going to go with it anyway. We're going to heavy salt and pepper, okay? Salt out of our what? Out of our what? or cigar ashtray. Pepper. We're going to kind of push it in there. Okay? Both sides. This is, you know how much the whole big thing cost me? $2. So if you don't want to spend that kind of money for such a beautiful piece of meat, you're an idiot. Okay? Live a little. And once our pan gets hot, I'm going to show you exactly what a girlfriend did to me. We'll pretend this is my heart, okay? And this is what she did. She threw it right in the pan and cooked the shit out of it with her high-heeled shoes. Only she cooked it well done, and she didn't share it with me. So while that's going, I'm going to show you how to get what's started on our sauce. This is a pan sauce. It's not so much as a sauce as just a very flavorful reduction of the jus coming from the heart. It's very beefy. Again, don't be afraid of it. Take our onion, because you know I love onions. We just take a little bit of onion, okay? Now the key to this is have everything nice and minced up fine, because this is going to go really quick, okay? So, hold on. Sit down. This is a bowl, okay? See how it's bowl shaped? It holds stuff. Put that over there. What we're going to do? We're going to mince our onion. Okay? So we have about, guesstimate, ow, motherfucker, about half a cup of onion, chopped, finely. Parsley, Italian parsley. I found it in the bottom of my refrigerator. What's the difference if it's beautiful and fresh or not? It's just going to wilt in the sauce. And you just want to chop it up. And that we're going to mince up. Hear that heart? Oh, God, is there anything better than good heart? Yes, there is. Brains. Best taco dish I ever had? Tacos de sesos. Brain tacos in Mexico. If I could live my life over again, I'd do everything that I did in it all over again, except I would do it in Mexico. We're going to put that in with our onions. My entire goal in this life is to eventually get my truck paid off, which is never going to happen because I'm being victimized by the finance company. Habanero chili. One of the hottest chilies in the world. It's probably third down on the hottest chili in the world list. Really, really hot, and I love them. But my advice to you, and I won't heed my own, is to use gloves when you cut them. Because if you get it in your eye, if you get it on your skin, I know there's a lot of chefs that may have cut chilies and then they went to the bathroom and they, well, kind of got it on their tool. It's no fun and it's really, really hard to stop that burning. Into our bowl. Into our bowl, onions, parsley, habanero. In our pan, we have our heart. And we're going to cook this medium rare. Garlic time. Remember this trick that I showed you in the last video, but you probably couldn't see it because the camera was out of focus? Well, we're going to do it again. There's a nice clove. You smash it. Few things are better than not having to clean up. We're going to put a lot of garlic in this. 3 big cloves minced up. So we gave it, what, about 3 to 4 minutes on that side? And we're going to turn it over with our hands because if you cook for more than 10 minutes, you should have lost all feeling in your hands. Here's our garlic. Mince it. And turn our heat up a little because it's pissing me off. It's not cooking fast enough. I hate electric burners. So those simple 4 ingredients right there are flavoring components for the sauce. Into the bowl with our parsley, our onion, our habanero. One more thing in it. I just put it in. What was it? Come on. I'll give you a minute. Garlic. Wash my hands. Chicken stock. Use one that's low sodium and preferably natural. I don't really care too much. I don't care what additives they put in my food. As long as it tastes good, I'm cool. Open it up a little bit. Next thing, a couple limes. You just want to roll them on your cutting board a bit. Breaks up the membranes, breaks up the fruit inside, and kind of releases a lot more juice. Okay? We're almost done. It's going to be fast. Now while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and throw all these components of the sauce in the pan. Add a little bit of olive oil. And we're going to mix it around a little bit. We're going to throw in our chicken stock. Okay, you with me? Squeeze our lime. And if you think it's not going to be good, I don't ever want to hear from you, because it's going to be awesome. Squeeze it into our pan. Get it all over the place. That's what cooking's about. It's about making a mess, and it's about bitching that you have to clean it up later. And then we're just going to let it cook for a minute. We're going to add a pinch of salt. And that is pretty much it. Watch what it looks like. Plate. We're going to take our heart out. We're going to let it rest on our plate for a minute, because when you rest meat, and this is very important for steaks, chicken, any proteins, let them rest, because when you put them in a hot pan, it contracts their proteins like that. It goes, oh God, it's so hot in here, I can't stand it. When you let it relax, they're going, this feels so much better out of that stupid pan. I can't wait till they grind me up with their molars and eat me. And check my time. I can't see because I'm blind. So last ingredient to that is a little chunk of butter. Okay? Everything's better with butter. We're going to drop a little bit in there. And another little splash of olive oil. And we're just going to let that reduce down. And this heart should have rested a little bit longer, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay? Slice it across the grain like you would a flank steak or London broil. It's beautiful. Look at that. How can you think that that is gross? Watch. Watch this. I hate people that are squeamish about food. You know what? If people aren't adventuresome in their food, there's no point in hanging out with them. I once broke up with a girl because she didn't like Indian food. But, you know, that's me. So we'll put that on our plate. God, would you look? Look at it. Beautiful, pink, heart. It's heart. Have a little. I also broke up with a girl once because she wore pink. But we're not going to get into that. Okay? That's why I live alone with a stupid cat. And that's our heart on the plate. We're going to swirl it around a little, make sure it gets all emulsified. Taste it. Use a pinch more salt. Now watch this. You tell me that that doesn't look good. If you tell me that that doesn't look good, well, I'm not going to listen. Anyway, let's see how this worked out, because I am actually hungry for this. Hungry for heart. I'll talk to you later. Later.